President Jacob Zuma was directly involved in the running of the now-defunct news channel ANN7. That's according to a former editor at the channel, Rajesh Sundaram. His testimony at the state capture inquiry also revealed how several visa regulations were flouted to expedite applications for Indian citizens who were employed by the news channel. Sundaram recounted events from where he was employed by ANN7 as a consulting editor in 2013. He told the commission how his visa application only took a few days to be processed beyond his expectation. Sundaram says one of the Gupta associates, Lakshmi Goel, told him that his application would go through the president's office and that certain requirements would be bypassed.
We had handed over our documents, the passport plus the other documents, to Mr. Lakshmi Goel's office, to his secretary, and she had then arranged for it to be taken to the South African High Commission. Calls were made to Mr. Ashu Chawla, and the work was done. I do remember very distinctly that during that time, Uday Kumar, who was a person who had recently been hired as part of the HR team, in his enthusiasm had gone to the South African High Commission with the passports without informing Mr. Ashu Chawla. And of course, he was denied access. He asked to speak with somebody at the visa section there. And I think the point person we were told was Mr. Shakil. He asked to speak with Mr. Shakil, and he was told that there's no Shakil who worked there. So, but of course, the next day, Mr. Lakshmi Goel gave him a dressing down, told him that if there's visas to be processed, the process to be followed was for Mr. Ashu Chawla to be informed, for him to then use his influence in the government to give instructions to the High Commission in New Delhi for them to issue those visas. And very true to that, the visas that I had applied for and my colleagues who came in from Delhi applied for came in very quickly on application. All the things I'd read on the internet about the time it would take and the procedure was bypassed for these visas.
Sundaram says the president had a much bigger interest in the station and even sat on several of its meetings.
Duduzani's involvement in the setting up of the station or the running of the business was minimal, I would say. You know, there was just one meeting where he had a small appearance, and there's not much in terms of business that he contributed to that meeting. But President Zuma was very much involved in the running of the station, in the sense that there were regular review meetings where a status update was given to him, and he would give feedback to that as well. Also, confidential information, which I, as somebody who set up many stations across in India, would know. You know, there's some confidential information which you don't really give out so early in the project. That was disclosed to the president. Now, I would have thought, as somebody who, when I did not know that of the president's son's involvement in this, I thought it was a little funny that you would hand out a document which had all the secrets of the project to a public office and leave a presentation there with all those details, with so many people in his office would have access to that, and it could clearly have leaked. But they didn't really seem to care. I mean, they trusted him 100%, and it was only later on that I realized that it's because he had a much bigger interest in the station.